Hello everybody, this is Michelle Fox and welcome back to Quick Tip Friday. Today I'm going to be sharing 5 tips that you can use when sewing with your sewing machine. Okay, so here are the 5 tips I want to share with you. Number 1, which has been a game changer for me, is putting a little command hook right here for your scissors. I was constantly searching for my scissors, but once I got into the habit of putting them here, they were always easy to find. Now, at first it's a little difficult to remember to put them there, but once you establish that pattern, you're gonna just love it, because your little scissors for snipping the threads are always right there. The second tip needs lighting right here. I don't know if you can see that. You can see that little LED light right there. Now there's basically 2 kinds. There's a strip light of LED that you can get, or this little kind of a square patch there, and I really like the square patch. I have the single line and the square patch, and I really do prefer the square patch. But that's a game changer for me, because it never seems like I have enough light. And let me show you the difference. So here's with your machine on, but this is once you turn on the light, and it just illuminates your sewing area so much more. And I really need that when I'm sewing, especially if I'm sewing on dark fabrics. Okay, so that was tip number 2. Tip number 3 is to be sure you change your needle frequently. Do not neglect to do that. It can make a huge difference when you're quilting and sewing, so be sure that you change that needle frequently. And then here on the end, whoops, I just unplugged that light. Here on the end, whenever I change the needle, I just take a piece of painter's tape and write the date that I changed the needle. Now, I try to remember to change it after every big project. I sew a lot, so I'm changing my machine needle frequently, but I do put it there because I have a hard time remembering. Now, tip number 4 is to have your machine serviced on a regular basis. It is just super important for helping to extend the life of your machine. And what I do once I have my machine serviced right here on the back, I put a little sticky note so that I know when I had it serviced. And I try to get mine serviced at least once a year. Sometimes I have mine serviced more than once a year, simply because I sew on it so much. Okay, my last tip is to put your machine on some sort of pad. Now, I made these pads for putting under my machine. Those of you who watch my channel frequently know that I love the selvages, and I've made several of these sewing machine mats using the selvages. And I have a video out which I'll link up above for that video if you're interested in watching that. But when you put this a mat like this here, it helps reduce the vibration of your machine, the noise of your machine, and this is especially important, I think, when you go to quilt retreats or sew days where you're sewing on those fold-out tables. Sometimes they can get to moving and vibrating quite a bit, but this helps reduce that. Now, another thing you can use here, you can just take the dish drying pads that you get at Walmart or your local big box stores. I've used that too, but these are so cute. I just had to make my own, and I've even made it so these are reversible. Now, those were my 5 top tips for add-ons for your sewing machine. Those make a huge difference as I'm sewing, and have for quite some time. I hope you've enjoyed today's video. If you have, please hit the like button. Subscribe if you haven't already. Please share with a friend, and as always, leave a comment. I love to get the comments, and I try to reply to each and every one. So until next time, have fun quilting.